which one of the equations below matches the graph? This is a very similar question to what we did initially. You're given a graph and you've been given the maximum and the minimum. This is your graph here, and you're given 4 options. So you want to find which of these options matches the graph. Anyway, the first clue is you need to know whether it's a sine graph or a cosine graph. So like I said in the previous video, it is only a sine function, since you know that the sine of 0 equals 0. So that is, it is only the sine function that starts at the origin. That is when x is 0, y is 0. So when you look at this graph here, you can see it starts at the origin. So definitely this should be a sine graph. So definitely it can be a cosine graph. So now we are left with 2 options. Now the thing you observe here is for a sine graph, the general form of a sine graph is y equals a sine omega x. So where the a there is the amplitude, and like we explained in the previous video, we said the amplitude is from here to here. That is from rest. The height it goes from rest, that's the amplitude, how high it blows up. So that's from 0 to 2. So we have that a, so we can see our a equals 2. And then we said, like in the previous video, that the omega is derived from the period. How is that? So we said it's derived from the period is given by 2 pi divided by omega. So when I know the period, then I can find omega. Now how do I determine the period of this thing here, of this graph here? Now based on what we have here, we have been given that the period of these cycles here is 12 pi. So let's now know how many cycles do I have here. I can divide the graph. So you can see I'm going to divide them into half, like you have half circle, half circle, half circle, half circle. So let's count. So this is 1 half, 2 halves. So this is 1 cycle. Then you go another half, another half. That's another cycle. So how many cycles do we have in all? That's 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 2 cycles equals 12 pi. That is 2 periods. 2 periods equals 12 pi. So periods is denoted by t. So 2t equals 12 pi. So now if 2t equals 12 pi, then I can find t, right? By dividing both sides by 2. So when you cross this off, so 2 in 12 is going to give you 6. And then you have t to be equal to 6 pi. So now my t is 6 pi. I'm going to make this substitution in here. So my t is 6 pi. So let's make the substitution. So you have 6 pi equals 2 pi divided by omega. So to find omega, I'm going to cross multiply. So you have omega 6 pi equals 2 pi. So we divide both sides by 6 pi. So this goes off. So pi cancels pi, 2 cancels 6. So 2 cancels 6, you have 3. So you have 1 all over 3. So this implies that omega equals 1 all over 3. So I know my a, I know my omega. So therefore my y is just going to be, so my a is 2, the sine of, so what's our omega? So we said our omega is 1 all over 3, so that'll be 1 all over 3 x. So you can see that. So 2 sine 1 all over 3x. So definitely this is going to be our solution, 2 sine 1 over 3x. So that completes the problem.